7:30 in the morning, and I'm up at about 9,000 feet in the mountains of Utah, central Utah. There's been a fire or two, actually 3 fires up in this area, and it's 100 degrees down in the valley, and so I've come up here to get out of the heat, and it's nice and cool this morning, so I'm dressed a little warm. I oftentimes will just get in my vehicle, mornings, evenings, and just go cruising the roads looking for animals that can be spotted. I just pulled up here because there was a blue heron sitting right on the side of the lake here. Anytime you pull up on an animal, they're not going to sit there very long, especially if you climb out of your vehicle. Sometimes you can get shot straight from your car, and you will not scare an animal or bird or any kind of animal as much as if you get out of your vehicle. But you can try to do both. 2 days ago, I went down to Third Lake down this way, came across a big osprey nest. Well, I went back there. It was too far away to get a good shot. I got some long distance shots, but really couldn't see anything. Last night, I went back and was able to spot the osprey in a tree just off the road. And so I pulled up where he couldn't see me behind another tree, quietly got out of my vehicle and walked across the road behind that tree, and then poked my head out and was able to get a shot of the bird sitting on his perch. And of course, he got a little nervous with me, and it wasn't long before he was taking off, and I was able to get some shots, some action shots of him spreading his wings, he or she. Same thing happened a little bit later. Last night, I was driving down the road, and a big golden eagle flew right over the top of me. Well, I pulled right over, hoped he would circle around and do another loop, and eagles like to loop on the thermals, and so I got out of my vehicle and shot multiple shots of him just above me, and then he circled higher and higher on the thermals and wouldn't come back. I tried to call him back, but he wouldn't listen. Well, just getting out on these mountain roads in the early mornings or late evenings is a good opportunity. Because there's been some fires up here, there is some smoke in the air, but it's mostly down in the valleys. And so being up here, I'm a little bit out of the smoke. But just south of me here, there's a big fire going on about 10 miles south. And I drove down yesterday down those roads, down some dirt roads, in fact, just looking for animals to shoot. I found some deer, but that was about it on that trip down that way. Got a few pictures of just some of the mountain flowers, which was nice. Here's a few of those I'll show you. I reached a point where the road had been blocked off. It said the road was closed, and that's wise. The Forest Service and the firefighters have blocked off that area so nobody would get any closer to the fire. I was able to get a time lapse of some of the smoke from that fire, and this is a view of that. One of the things I've enjoyed while being up here is I found there's a lot of 2-track trails for UTVs, ATVs to go all through these mountain areas. But this area has also been developed for some single-track hiking, horseback riding, and mountain biking. I've got a mountain bike. It's a beautiful electric bike, a Yamaha that I love. And it helps me to climb some of those hills that are getting more difficult these days. It really helps a lot. So I got some good single-track riding in. Some double-track riding on some of the roads was even just as fun as the single-track. I've seen a lot of does with their fawns, with 1 or 2 fawns out. And as I've gone back and forth 3 or 4 or 5 times on this same road, I've come across them. You know, it's not easy to always just set up a tripod. Animals don't wait for you to set up your tripod. So I got out of my vehicle and from the hood of my truck, got as stable as I could, but shot video of these 2 fawns getting some milk from mom, and just she was feeding and they were following her wherever she was going. And then they were kind of cuddling with each other, caressing each other. I don't know if they were trying to lick the milk that they'd got from mother off of each other's faces, probably is what it seemed like to me. So I keep this camera with a 600 millimeter lens just sitting right there on my other passenger seat. Yesterday I was driving by a lake and a blue heron was sitting out on the edge of the lake, and it was just a beautiful reflection of the body of the bird in the water. So I pulled down off the road and then walked about 300 yards, just inching my way towards him and kind of zigzagging in and out, not going straight toward him so that he wouldn't think I was coming right at him. I don't know if it helped or not, but I got fairly close and got some of these shots. Interesting, later in the nighttime, I was able to watch a sunset. It was a clear night, and so the sun was going down and there were no clouds on the horizon to obstruct it, just the smoke. And the smoke was acting like a filter. And here's a few shots of that smoke-filtered sky as the sun went down with the trees on the horizon. It's early morning and I'm about 9,000 feet, but I'm going to give you a quick tour of my small trailer. This is good for 1 or 2 people. You can see it's got a microwave and a fridge, cook stove and counter, some storage up here. Behind that door is a toilet and shower, little sink. I've got an air conditioner if I can hook up to electrical somewhere. And then this is my bedding area. There's a table underneath here, and there's a heater down there too, propane heater. But that table will fold out and make a seating area, and you can move your bed and seat 4 people comfortably around for dinner. Little counter here, some storage and all my electrical. That's a quick little tour of this 12-foot trailer. Beautiful lighting inside as well. Here's a big bird coming right by right now. What is he doing? Nope, just a raven. Anyway, you go out, you find what you can find, you make an adventure out of what you're doing and enjoy yourself. And I hope you're doing the same.